Abandoned buildings always draw the curious, the thrill of exploring forgotten corners, the whispers of lives long gone, the shadows that seem to move when you're not looking. But some places hold secrets that aren't meant for the living. The apartment at the end of Hawthorne Street was one of them. Locals whispered its name like a warning, claiming it had a room that didn't appear on any plans, a room that shouldn't exist. I thought it was just a story, until I went to see it for myself. The building looked like any other abandoned apartment, peeling paint, broken windows, a front door barely hanging on its hinges. But as I approached, a sense of wrongness hit me. The air was heavier here, almost thick, as if the building was holding its breath. Inside, the hallways were dark and narrow, walls coated in grime, floorboards groaning under every step. And then I saw it. A door at the far end of the hallway. No label, no markings, nothing. But somehow, it felt alive. The door swung open, revealing a room that looked ordinary. At first, dust-covered floor, peeling wallpaper, an old mirror hanging crookedly on the wall. But there was something wrong. The air inside was cold, bone-chilling cold, and heavy with a metallic scent like blood. I stepped in and the door slammed shut behind me. And in the mirror something moved. Not my reflection, something else. Watching me, waiting. I tried the door, locked. My phone had no signal. Panic began to crawl up my spine. The mirror's surface rippled like water. And then I saw it. A figure behind me, faceless, tall and impossibly thin. It wasn't human. Its movements were jerky, unnatural, like it was learning to imitate a person. I spun around, nothing. Just the room. The air seemed to thrum, vibrating softly, as though the walls themselves were alive. I tried to scream, but no sound came out, only the whispers, growing louder, pressing into my mind until I could barely think. I couldn't stand it any longer. I ran to the door, pounding on it, begging for it to open. And that's when I noticed the floorboards. They were moving, shifting. The wood seemed to breathe, curling like smoke into the corners of the room. The whispers became words, warning me to leave or to join. I didn't understand them, but I felt the meaning. I had to escape. Desperate, I grabbed a chair and smashed it against the mirror. The glass didn't shatter, just rippled like I had struck water. And in that ripple I saw everything. The room larger than reality, shadows twisting into impossible shapes, faceless figures staring at me from every corner. One of them stepped out from the reflection, taller than the ceiling, faceless, grinning, though I could see no mouth. Its presence pressed down on me, crushing my thoughts. I ran. I don't know how I moved so fast, but the room seemed to shift around me, doors appearing and disappearing. Every corner led me back to the mirror. The whispers turned into screams echoing in my head, and then, as I tripped, I caught a final glimpse, the figure pointing at the door, pointing at me. The room went black, complete darkness, silence, and I knew I had left something behind, or maybe it had left something in me. The building was empty the next day. No sign of me inside. Locals still whisper about the apartment at the end of Hawthorne Street, the one that shouldn't exist. And the mirror, gone. Some say it waits for the next curious soul, waiting to pull them into a room that doesn't belong in this world. If you ever hear whispers in an abandoned building, don't follow them, and never open a door that shouldn't exist. Some doors are meant to stay closed.